these UFOs are real. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
The question is, are they from aliens or are they some crazy technology that humans have figured out?
That they don't want to share with? They're real. And 70% is from out of the space. That's how I feel.
Okay.
And 30% is that they probably have something they just don't want to share with the rest of the world. So you feel like it's technology or it's outside?
Based on that TikTok?
That's outside. That's outside.
That's outside shit.
I know the military for sure has things that we haven't seen, like us, like the public or whatever.
It's defying the laws of gravity and physics.
How much of a chance is it that it's just our technology that they just haven't shared with even the highest form of highest person in military or
I'm
with a
saying
clearance?
60 miles in 3 seconds. So that's 72,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's impossible. I mean,
yeah. You can find links to all our shows at arcanemediallc.com. That's RKANEMEDIALLC.com. Now let's get started. And now, recording from beautiful and sexy Miami, with your hosts, Seth and Laz and Research Lucas. It's Because We Said So. So yeah, this is Because We Said So. We got Seth in mic 1. We got Laz in mic 2.
Hello.
We got Lucas in mic 3.
Hey.
And we got Steve in mic 4. First time on, I have to have you speak into the mic just a little.
What's up?
There we go. Much better. I'm turning you up here just a tad.
Turn me up.
So it depends on who's here. And you sporting, bro. I didn't even ask. You're wearing the BWSS shirt, which we're loving. Lucas has the shirt on as well, so definitely gonna clap that up for sure. So yeah, you can get us from our website. We hail from Miami. Website is arcanemediallc.com. Twitter is BWSS Podcast. YouTube is at Because We Said So. Email me at seth@arcanemediallc.com. We record everything on camera at Arcane Studios. You can watch all of our shows on YouTube. Listen wherever you listen to podcasts. I do code the show for YouTube, so if you guys want to skip ahead, I guess that's fine. All the music is by the Unsilenced, and you can check out our sister show, Your Inner Buddha. Just nice, relaxing, spiritual growth, all that neat stuff. We release weekly when I get the editing done. And please share and tell your friends. This is BWSS number 111, Trump Indictment number 3. And are there aliens among us? That's the question. So we got WTF news. We got Laz's Corner Positivity. We got some beef. We do not have quick news this week because these 2 stories we're doing are going to take a lot of time. That is for sure. So, Steve, appreciate you being here. First time on the show. Clap that up one last time. Lucas, what's with the darkness over there, bro? You're just, chilling in the dark?
Yeah, got to get used to the power possibly going out.
Yeah, I know. Do you have a backup battery over there, by the way?
I do, but my computer's so overpowered, it just drains it instantly.
So, I mean, I get about 10 minutes. How much do you get?
I get about 10 milliseconds.
Yeah, whatever, bitch. All right, so...
Well, it's mostly surge protector, so...
Fair enough. All right, so we're going to jump in. Trump Indictment number 3. So this is Ivan Piera, ABC News. Former President Donald Trump has been indicted in the special counsel's investigation into his alleged plot to overthrow the 2020 election. Trump has been charged with 4 counts. Conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction and attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. So it's actually amazing they only had 4 charges because you get arrested for crossing the street, they can somehow find like 8 charges on you.
Oh, God.
So the fact that they narrowed it down to 4, got to give him credit for, not going too crazy on that. That's for sure. So here's real quick, just how presidents are elected, because I'm going to go into each one of these things individually. So the process of electing a president, obviously everybody votes. We all know that. After someone votes for president, the votes get counted in a statewide tally. Duh. But legally speaking, the Electoral College decides who's elected president. Most people agree that popular vote across the country should just win. It's not like that. Basically, whoever wins the state gets the actual votes from that state. States like California, I think you get like 40-some electoral votes. States like Wyoming, which is, borderline empty, you get like 5 points, so to speak. Before each general election, the political parties from each state choose their own slate of potential electoral college electors. After the votes are in, the winning electors from each state prepare certificates of ascertainment authenticated with the governor's signature. So the winning side, the Democrats or the Republicans, what happens is their elected electors come in. They're the ones that certify the votes. They're the ones that say, yes, we won, and they pass that information on. The governor signs it. Everybody moves on to the next step. In mid-December, the Electoral College formally meets across the country to vote. Congress later gathers on January 6th to tally the votes from the Electoral College and certify the results. And that's when Mike Pence was there to certify it. Each state, here's the form. Each form's a little bit different. Some, each form from each state's a little bit different, but this is what Mike Pence did. He had the things like, okay, California won, I have it here. I'm confirming it here. Put it in the tally, yada, yada, yada. We already know who won, but this is like the official proceeding to make sure that happens. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Could you go over that again?
Whatever, bitch.
That's
Jeez.
fine.
All right, so here's the thing. So the first charge that he got hit with was the fake electors scheme. And that's why I went over the whole elector thing, because the Trump team helped prepare fake certificates in 7 states that Trump lost: Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. In many cases, these certificates falsely stated that the electors in their states duly elected and qualified electors. So basically, they're like, we are the official electors from this state, and even though their elector certificates were falsified, these phony certificates were then submitted to the National Archives and Congress. So they are put in the National Archives. So this is proof. Like, they actually put in, and the Trump team put together these fake electors to go in with their fake electoral certificates saying we are the electors, so they could go in and try to mess stuff up. The evidence suggests that many
Is this real?
Yeah, they actually did that.
They put fake electors in the...
Trump tried to put fake electors in. He tried to.
Yeah.
And the real electors were there. They're like, wait a minute, we're the electors. Like, who the hell are you? So what he was trying to do is create some sort of confusion to try to stir the pot enough to where he could claim that, we have conflicting reports on who won, when there were no conflicting reports. There's only conflicting reports because you're putting in fake electors. Yeah. The evidence suggests that many in Trump's inner circle understood that fake elector scheme wouldn't keep him in White House, but the goal was to create the illusion of a contested election. Once the GOP-led state legislators didn't go along with the plan, the idea was to, at minimum, give Vice President Pence the pretext to either block Congress from recognizing Biden's win or deny the vote count when he performed his ceremonial role on January 6th. Obviously, Pence didn't go through with that. So this whole thing was so when Mike Pence on January 6th was certifying these electoral certificates from the official electors from all the states, Pence could say, no, I can't certify these because we have these other electors there that say that they won. So Trump was really just trying to create confusion where there really wasn't any.
God.
So that was the first charge. This is evidence to suggest that some believe Trump team could cast enough doubt and then take the case to the Supreme Court. So he was also hoping that there'd be enough confusion that the Supreme Court would take up the case, and he put 3 of the Supreme Court justices there, so he was hoping that they would, help to overturn shit. Number 2, Trump allegedly tries to leverage the Justice Department. So the indictment contends that Trump and his co-conspirators, quote, attempted to use the power, this is quote from the indictment, attempted to use the power and authority of the Justice Department to conduct sham election crime investigations and to send a letter to targeted states that falsely claimed that the Justice Department had identified significant concerns that may have impacted the election's outcome. They sought to use Justice Department's authority to falsely present the fraudulent electors as a valid alternative to legitimate electors. So they're saying we're going to use the Justice Department to say, hey, these fake electors were actually supposed to be there. The Justice Department said so. That whole thing was actually true. So not only did they get the fake electors, they tried to use the Justice Department to certify or to go along with this whole scheme. On December 31st, Trump repeatedly raised his claims that there had been 205,000, that is, more votes than voters in Pennsylvania, with acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen and acting Deputy Attorney General Richard Donahue. Each time the Justice Department officials informed the defendant, Trump, that his claim was false. So he was saying that there were 205,000 more votes in Pennsylvania that were actually voters. Like, come on, 205?
That's too much.
Yeah. Dude, let's just try to keep it a little bit like reasonable, like believable. 205,000. You know how many extra votes that is? Think about what it would take to like just create.
That's this whole block, bro. Like more like this whole.
A few blocks.
Probably this whole
205,000 blocks.
Yeah, like no.
But think about what it would take to come up with 205,000 extra ballots and have 205,000 people sign them. Like, it's just a little ridiculous. All right, number 3, Trump allegedly pressures Pence. This indictment specifies the repeated instances by Trump and his co-conspirators to pressure Vice President Mike Pence, to use his ceremonial role at the certification to fraudulently alter the election results. Pence pushed back on those claims. On January 1st, 2021, Trump allegedly berated Pence for refusing to go along with the proposal, the indictment says. On January 4th, so just 3 days later, Trump again met with Pence on the co-conspirators. On January 4th, just 3 days later, 2021, Trump again met with Pence, one of the co-conspirators, Pence's chief of staff and Pence's counsel Pence's lawyer, to convince Pence that he should reject Joe Biden's electoral votes or resend them back to the state. During the meeting, as reflected in Vice President's contemporaneous notes, the defendant made knowingly false claims of election fraud, including, bottom line, we won every state by 100,000 votes. So not only is he saying 205,000 votes in Pennsylvania, he's saying he won every state by 100,000 votes. Every state now. So not just Pennsylvania, every state he won by 100,000 votes. Trump met with... What's that?
He's just talking, like...
Trying to come up with anything. Trying to come up with anything he possibly can. And he just wanted people to go along with it. But there's not people dumb enough to do that. Trump met with Pence again on the 5th, so this is 2 days later. So this is 3 times in 5 days, to convince him to overturn the election. But Vice President refused the indictment. Trump allegedly grew frustrated and told Pence that he'd have to publicly criticize him. It's like, all right, well, you know what? If you do that, I'm going to have to tell everyone how much of a schmuck you are. So that was number 3. Here's number 4, Trump's speech before the riot. Special counsel cited Trump's own words at the rally before his supporters raided the Capitol. Quote, Trump repeated false claims of election fraud, gave false hope that the vice president might change the election outcome, and directed the crowd in front of him to go to the Capitol as a means to obstruct the certification and pressure the vice president to fraudulently obstruct the certifications, prosecutors wrote. I hope Mike is going to do the right thing. I hope so. I hope so, Trump said, speaking to a group of supporters outside the White House on January 6th. Because if Mike Pence does the right thing, we win the election. The indictment noted that Trump directed people in front of him to head to the Capitol, suggested he was going to go with them, told them to give members of Congress the kind of pride and boldness that they would need to take back the country. The president did not join the march. He returned to the White House, where he watched everything on TV. So he's like, go over there, show them the type of balls you need to make this happen, and I'm going to go back to my comfy White House and watch all this shit on television. Do you feel like he would
actually went, though? That would have been, like, crazy if he actually went.
Dude, there's no way he would go, because he knows... Even allowed to, like... I wonder what would happen if he went, though. Do you think... I mean, they would have to let him in, right?
Of course. I mean...
Bro, he didn't go because he knew what he was asking was ridiculous.
It's impossible.
And illegal.
Or maybe somebody was probably just like, yo, bro, like, I don't think this is what you're
Plus, he's still the president. It's not like Secret Service. Could you imagine?
What is he going to do when he gets there? I mean, what is he going to do there?
I mean, the only thing he could do is like charge them to do exactly what they did, but then they could really charge him for it. So the fact that he went home is a good thing. But so those are the 4 things that they're getting him for: fake elector scheme, trying to use the Justice Department to support his fake elector scheme, and to support the fact that they found all these extra votes that they didn't actually find, trying to pressure Pence to change. That's the thing. Like, this whole pressuring Pence thing, this is literally called, like, part of it's called the Ku Klux Klan Act, where you cannot use your authority, you cannot pressure people to act against, their ability to vote, their ability to do their job, their ability to do a lot of this stuff. And it was really started to help African Americans who wanted to vote. So like this is like one of the major like oldest acts like ever from like the 1800s. So that's what the thing with Pence was. Like you're obstructing this guy from just being able to do his job. And then of course inciting a riot is another one. That's the fourth one. So these are the four things they have going for them. Based on what I just told you, before we move on, what do you guys think about, I mean, do they have him? Do you feel like some of it's, not something that's going to get him? What are your guys' thoughts?
I don't know, bro. Like, is he actually going to get, like, found guilty?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
I don't think so.
No?
They're gonna find some way out of it, lawyer-wise, this and that. I didn't say it like that, or something like that.
Okay. They're talking about pleading the fifth. What about you, Steve?
I mean, he said. I think I read something there. He said that he would run even from like jail.
Yeah, he's gonna run from jail.
Yeah.
And he can. That's what's crazy. He can be in jail, like for convicted, and still run for president. But do you think that based on what do you think they have enough to put him in jail?
If this is all factual, then 100%. Like if they can prove this is exactly what he did, then
I mean, they seem to have enough.
How long would he go in for? That's
the question.
Like,
we're going to talk about the judge. The judge that he has right now is a pretty tough judge.
Literally, like the fourth charge is going to be like, yeah, I said that, but I didn't say.
The fourth charge, I don't think they can get him for really pressuring Pence. They have him. Like they have him. They have recordings. His lawyer was there when he was pressuring Pence. Pence's lawyer was there when he was pressuring Pence. So they have him for that. Leveraging the Justice Department, they have him for that because the Justice Department people, already stated, yes, he did that. And then they have the fake electors. Now, they would have to prove that Trump ordered them to create the fake electors. They might get away with that. Okay. But the other two?
So maybe 2 out of these 4.
That's true. They only need one, though.
They only need one.
And remember, this is indictment number 3. They still have one more, and that's from him trying to overturn the election in Georgia when he was trying to say find the other votes and trying to like he sent people in to try to take some of the voting machines. So John Gerstein and Kelly Cheney from Politico. Newest indictment against Donald Trump contains one of the gravest charges any citizen, let alone a former president, could face, undermining American democracy through a concerted effort to overturn the results of a presidential election. So there are 6 co-conspirators, 6 people that the Justice Department recognizes that helped him along his way. The indictment does not identify any of them, who prosecutors say unlawfully agreed to aid Trump's bid to subvert the election, but 5 of them were readily identifiable based on the widely known details of the indictment. So in other words, the Justice Department didn't say, hey, these are the people by name, but they're saying these are the 6 co-conspirators that helped him. But because they know who these people are based on the information in the indictment, here are 5 of them. Rudy Giuliani, no surprise there, Trump's lawyer and the leader of an effort to pressure state legislators to reverse election results. John Eastman, a congressional lawyer who helped develop the strategy to pressure Mike Pence to overturn the election. So he was the one to say, yo, we got to get Mike Pence on this. We got to pressure him. Sidney Powell, a conservative lawyer who pushed fringe theories about the manipulation of voting machines. So this whole thing with Dominion voting, and if you guys remember, Dominion voting won. Actually, Lucas, can you look this up? Lucas. Dominion voting versus Fox News. It's like a $600,000 or $1 million, that Fox News settled for. But saying that Dominion voting, they were hacked and gave extra votes and stuff like that. So that's how Sidney Powell came in, trying to be the lawyer who pushed that theory. Jeffrey Clark, a Justice Department lawyer. Oops, sorry, I hit the bell button too early. You got your sign there when you're ready? Come on, bro. It's a beautiful sign. I can't hear you right now. Are you talking into the mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here.
So Jeffrey Clark, a Justice Department lawyer. Go ahead. You got it?
You asked about Dominion versus Fox. Are we looking for the settlement?
Settlement amount. Yeah. I think it was like how much?
$787.5 million.
Yeah. So they settled for $785 million, Fox News, for pushing the narrative that the voting machines that Dominion held were hacked and were manipulated and all that. The reason that they ended up, and I wish they wouldn't have, because I would have loved to have covered this, the reason that they settled was because all of the Fox News hosts, including Rupert Murdoch, who owns Fox News, said, oh, this whole thing is bullshit. Like Dominion, like the whole thing, it's all a sham. They're being lied to. We know there was no fake hacking of the Dominion system. We know that Trump was lying, but they went ahead and said all that shit on Fox News anyway. And they have text messages and they have voice recordings and emails to support all this. Fox News realized that if we don't settle, all of our hosts and we're going to get completely exposed. So this whole voting thing with Dominion is bullshit. So Jeffrey Clark, a Justice Department lawyer who pressed DOJ, Department of Justice leaders, to sow doubt about the election results. And then Ken Chesebro, Cheesebro. Wow, Cheesebro. Ken Cheesebro, an architect of key elements of Trump's fake elector strategy. So he was the one that put together the whole strategy of getting the fake electors up there to knock on the door and say, hey, we're the electors. Like, no, you're not. You guys lost. You're not supposed to be here. So here's the thing: a sixth person wasn't named, or they can't figure out who it was. But he was not immediately verifiable. But he was a person that played a role in the effort to assemble false states. Here's the thing: the fact that they weren't named doesn't mean they won't be charged. They just didn't name them, because if you name these conspirators, each one of these conspirators, co-conspirators, they will have to have lawyers. They will have to have their own defense. They will have their own motions, their own delays.
Like, heads up, basically.
Well, not only that, the trial could take a couple years, because each one of these people has to go on the stand. They have to testify or plead the fifth and all that. So by leaving these conspirators' names out, you don't have to worry about that. But having these co-conspirators in there, not by name, means that you can use their testimony. You can use the testimony of people that interacted with them. So the whole reason they're not naming these co-conspirators is because they don't want this Trump thing. They want this Trump thing wrapped up by the election.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
As the people that helped,
Sure.
do you feel like if they knew how big this was going to be as far as for their name, because obviously they have like Giuliani and other people have like
Giuliani,
a lot of,
what a fucking bro. I hate to say it.
He's already fucked up. It doesn't matter about
but
him.
Remember after 9/11, he was like the bastion of hope, dude. He was like this.
Yeah, he was somebody that's going to be somebody.
Yeah, and this, bro.
Yeah, so all the people that are involved.
And then Borat 2.
Oh god.
Remember that shit?
Oh yeah, with the girl.
Oh,
God.
Dude, so bad. You see that, Steve?
Horrible, dude.
Yeah, that's a yes.
What is didn't? Oh yeah,
and it was real footage. That was like
his,
real footage, bro.
Real footage.
He's
like,
whipping out his dick.
So
did you guys hear about Giuliani's bigoted anti-Semitic comments?
Yes, I did. He like Jewish people have small dicks because after they get married, they can never use them. Whereas Italians have big dicks because they, never stop fucking or some shit like that.
So how did you have that memorized?
Bro, because it's kind of funny. Ain't gonna lie.
And it's a fucked up thing to say. Sorry for the fucked up, but it is what it is.
It is.
But it's like, do you feel like some of the people that, all right, for example, we all know politicians use dirty tricks.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
of course, all of them.
Yeah, and of course, yeah. But like, do you feel like some of the people that helped with the situation didn't think it was going to go this far, and now they're going to be like, "Yo, I'm actually named in the trial."
I don't know. I don't think they had any clue it was going to go that far.
If they thought it was going to go this far, would they still do it?
I don't think so. I think they got caught up by Trump. We're going to do this. We're going to make this happen. I'm the president. He's Trump. I want to lick your nuts. Let's fucking go for it.
Oh, God.
Straight up.
No, but
yeah, they thought they'll never be here,
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's crazy, man. Like
blinded by power.
Oh, man.
Blinded by the light.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call Trump the light per se.
No, I mean, remember a lot of people like really, really looked up to Trump. I was talking to somebody the other day, a coworker, and she was like, we were talking about something, and I was like, yo, this guy should have just never ran for president. He would have been fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what type of power he wanted or to be in. I mean, I guess like the highest power you could have is president of the United States.
Yeah, in the world,
in the world. But there's people higher than the president of the United States. But like you're already
Who? Name somebody.
Somebody that we don't even know to name, bro. Like he was already good. Like what else did he need? Like now he needs this. He doesn't need that. Does he need everybody digging through all his life?
It sucks, dude. Because The Apprentice. That was one of my favorite shows, bro. But I love Trump. I thought he was great. You know, read his book. In fact, we had the Trump board game when I was growing up, bro.
We should still have it.
We probably have it somewhere, yeah.
But imagine like you have everything, right? So I don't know what's in your closet that nobody knows about. I mean, we pretty much know everything about each other. But imagine like you don't know something about me. I mean, what about the one thing that nobody knows?
Yeah.
But like imagine you're good, you're successful, everything's going great. And then you're like, you know what, I want more. And then they start digging into your life and they find something that you didn't really want to know about. You know what I mean?
That's the thing you always, in fact, one of the quotes from 50 Cent, bro, this is like a long time ago, and he was talking about it.
Yeah, he said 50 Cent.
50 Cent.
Say it properly.
So one of the awesome things about 50 Cent, but yo, I mean, so he was talking about success because, you know, he sold vitamin water. I think he sold it, right?
Yeah, he sold it.
Yeah. Can you find out how much he got from selling vitamin water? He was talking about, what's that?
His part of it.
50 Cent.
Yeah, his part of it. No, 50 Cent. FIDDY.
Mr. Cent.
So he was talking, or look up, you know, $50.
Oh God.
He was talking about success, and he's like, one of the things about success is no matter how, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, no matter how successful you are, you're always going to find people with more success. So like, you know, you get $100 million, all of a sudden you're in a group that has $100 million, but then you start hanging out with people that are worth $500 million. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then so you get to $500 million, all of a sudden you're hanging out with people that are worth $3-4 billion. So as you know, I would say probably men more than women, I would say, but are always looking for, you know, extra power. Yeah, for sure. So Lucas, I hope you find your sign.
Yeah,
there,
but
buddy.
the more you get, the more you're gonna like. Everybody's gonna be up your ass about everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could do anything right now. Nobody's gonna care. But like, when the show pops off, you know.
That's the thing. When you run like, for, you know, like for instance, like straight up, dude, if I was gonna run for like, you know, politician, whatever, the first thing I'd think of, damn, dude, what if they look up my porn history? You know what I'm saying?
Or like what you said on the podcast, how many things would you have to delete?
Yeah. Didn't they get him for that stripper chick? Or like the porn star or something that he was with,
Donald
like he
Trump?
paid like didn't he pay like a porn star?
Yeah, of course, because they're gonna look up everything in your life, bro. Like how many things do you think they're gonna find? Like Steve, like if you run for like I don't know, mayor of Broward County right now.
Oh yes.
And then like they go look up your
like,
whole fucking life. You know what I mean? Like how?
No, I'll be straight, man. I'll be all right.
There's nothing? You think there's not that like one girl that you just like did something weird to and then she's just like
man.
She's gonna try to get
Steve's
famous.
weird. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, or it's like, oh yeah, you was with Seth and Laz did something crazy like last week. So you mean to tell me you didn't know, but you were sitting in a room for like 2 hours?
I
like,
know there's pictures of me out there smoking a bong somewhere, like eating a mushroom or some shit that would definitely surface.
That shit has nothing to do with anything.
I have a
like,
picture of you in high school.
It could be anything.
I can get something like
diving
that.
outfit.
It could be anything about any like for example, I just met you now, right? But if let's say we take a picture right now, they're gonna be, oh, look at this guy. Oh, Steve's friend, Laz. He's crazy. He did this, he did that, and you're gonna be like, I barely know him.
I'm crazy for association.
Yeah, like, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like they look up everything. It doesn't matter.
But that's the thing. Trump, they have been looking up everything. We know what's up with Trump. You know, he didn't pay taxes. How many times he's been sued for not paying
Did you know that
people?
before he was president?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Or running for president?
But he's getting away with it.
Did he get like buildings built and never paid?
Yeah, for sure. He would actually falsify what his buildings were worth to get funding for other buildings.
Did you know that before he ran for president?
But you know what? I can't knock him for that. Not paying his taxes, you can't knock him for that. That's just him taking advantage of the system.
I'm smart.
But, you know, some of this other shit that, you know, we wouldn't want our you would think we wouldn't want our president to, you know, to be like grab him by the pussy, and porn stars and fucking all that shit. So Matt Murphy, BBC, who is Tanya Chutkan, the hardline judge on Trump's election case? When Donald Trump appears before District Judge Tanya Chutkan to face the host of charges brought against him for his role in 2020 election interference, he might recognize a familiar foe. In 2021, Judge Chutkan blocked his efforts to stop a congressional committee's bid to access reams of his administration's White House papers with the memorial phrase, quote, "Presidents are not kings and plaintiff is not president," unquote. The case brought against Mr. Trump by special counsel Jack Smith was randomly handed to her. Handed to her, like, let me stop right there. Do you think it was randomly handed to her?
No.
You don't think? I mean, I want to believe that it was, but in a situation like this, I could see them be like, let's give him like a judge that just isn't going to be on his side. So
Let's hopefully she's just impartial.
well, before I go on, Judge has already called for her to recuse herself, of course. So over the past 2 years, the 61-year-old has won a reputation for harsh sentences for those convicted of participation in riots. Born in Kingston, Jamaica, she moved to the U.S. to attend George Washington University before moving on to law school at the University of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
God.
For more than a
Almost
decade,
racist.
she worked as what? For more than a decade, she worked as a public defender in Washington, D.C., where she argued several appellate cases and tried over 30 cases, including numerous serious felony matters, according to her biography. In 2014, President Barack Obama nominated her to U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. She was confirmed by Senate in a 95-0 vote. Lucas, are you looking up anything right now?
No.
Okay, I just wasn't sure.
Research Lucas. No, outside of you asking me to look up how much 50 cents sold vitamin water for.
Damn.
Yeah, how much?
So, as a whole, Coca-Cola bought vitamin water from the company Glacier or whatever it is for $4.1 billion.
What?
It's
But
it's
not 50,
reported that
though.
no, but 50 is rumored to get 60 to 100 million of that.
Do you realize he was trying to like declare bankruptcy too, or some shit, saying he was broke? Lucas, can you look up? I'm just curious about this. How many U.S. District Court judges are confirmed unanimously? Because she was confirmed 95-0 in the Senate. I find that hard to believe, but everyone loved her apparently. So in this role, she is as a district judge in D.C. She has seen dozens of people accused of participation in January 6th. There have been a handful of occasions where judges have supported longer prison sentences than those recommended by the Justice Department. Judge Chutkan has been the judge most likely to do so. So the Justice Department's like, we recommend this, and she's like, no, I'm going to give you more time served than that.
They should never. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they should never do shit like that, though.
Like what?
That January 6th
I
shit should
agree.
never happen.
But the Justice Department's like, give him this amount, and she's like, no, I'm going to give you more.
Yeah, because that's not. Do you remember when the day, or if you saw it?
Yeah, I remember the day. I remember where I was. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's not something that happens in the United States, bro.
Ever.
Like this is not a third. Oh no, I don't want to say
That's racist.
It is. I'm Haitian, so I can say whatever I want. So,
Sure.
anyways, you can't do shit like that. And the problem with those other countries, like there is no, not backlash. Like there's no consequence for doing something crazy like that. So it's like people feel like they can do whatever they want or riot and
No regulation.
feel like it's okay. But this is America. Like there's a reason we here. So it's
True.
like you can't just go storm a Capitol. Or what if they would have killed him? Should
Well,
be
here's the
harsher.
thing. Of the 31 defendants who have come before her, Judge Chutkan has sentenced every one of them to at least some jail time. Nonetheless, she has previously expressed frustration that people who knowingly lied to Trump supporters had avoided charges. Because there are people that are like, listen, we did all this, but what about the people that are feeding us this lies? What about the people that told us to do this, blah, blah, blah?
The orchestrators.
Yeah, I mean, they have a point. And she's, said like, and this might be the one that recuses her. She expressed frustration that the people that lied, to the supporters haven't faced jail time. This could be enough to have her recused or have her recuse herself.
She's going in with a
Conceived notion. Yeah. It's a tough one, man.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a tough one. I don't know.
But if that happens, do they have to redo the whole process over?
No, they just find a different judge.
Okay.
New judge comes in.
They haven't chose jury and stuff yet.
No. That's gonna be a while.
Like, it's gonna be a whole thing. This is not gonna be done before.
Can you
election
imagine being
time.
on that? No.
When is election time? Next
Election
year?
time is a year from November.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No. Yeah, it'll be done by then.
What? They're gonna be starting trial by then? That's dead.
No, the whole reason they're not naming these co-conspirators is because they want this wrapped up by the election.
It will not be wrapped up by
You don't
election.
think so?
No way.
All right. Lucas, real quick, how long do you think before this trial is wrapped up?
Wrapped up or even started?
Wrapped up.
Are we talking about just solely Trump or the
Trump
co-conspirators?
is guilty or innocent?
Oh, guilty.
How long?
How
Guilty
long?
within a year.
Within a year?
They haven't started yet.
Lucas was looking something up, so we'll give him the pass on not knowing the question. All right, Laz, what do you think?
Real quick. As soon as the
Way
court
more
actually
than a year,
starts,
bro.
as soon as court starts, I give it within a year.
As soon as court starts,
When do you
I'm
think
talking
court's
about
gonna
from
start?
now. It's from now. Way more
From
than
now,
a year.
we're talking about 26, 25 type shit. That's
All
not
right,
happening.
Steven.
I think being that if they do want it wrapped up by the election, then it's definitely going to be wrapped up by the election.
I
But
agree
they
with
haven't
Steve.
started yet.
Well, if they want it wrapped up by the election, they're
Yep.
going to wrap it up by
They're
the
going to
election.
wrap it up.
It's dead.
All right, I guess we'll find out. I wish we had someone to keep notes on all these, but I'll remember. I'll remember, folks. So that's pretty much all I have on this whole Trump thing. We'll see what happens. They've got Trump's judge trying to recuse herself, or trying to get the judge to recuse herself based on that.
Trump's lawyer.
No, the judge that has given sentences to everyone who's come before her according to the riots, and in addition to the one that suggested that or showed frustration that the people that lied to these rioters haven't faced any jail
They
time.
want her recused.
Trump wants her recused.
Yeah. His lawyer wants her recused.
Yes, 100%. So we'll see what happened. But the Democrats wanted the lawyer down here in Miami to be recused as well. Because that's a lawyer or a judge that Trump put in. So that's really pertaining to the whole classified documents case. So there's recusals all out the freaking wazoo. I don't know if you can go how many times there can be a recusal, but even like the judge that was trying or set up to deal with the Disney versus DeSantis had that judge recused because the judge had said something like offhand about the whole situation, before all this even blew up. So there's just all kinds of recuses going on out here. So any last minute thoughts before we move on?
No.
No? So Trump, guilty, not guilty? What do you guys think?
Guilty.
Guilty?
Not involved.
Yeah, bullshit.
No, not what you believe, what you think's going to happen. Do you think he'll be found guilty? Do you think he'll
No,
get
he's not
off
gonna
or
be
not?
found- he's not
You don't
gonna be
think
found
so,
guilty.
Steven?
I think they're going to find them guilty, man. They want them. They want them locked up.
I think so too.
They want them locked
I
up.
don't
so
think
too.
Trump has never said it's gonna do time in prison.
By the way, Lucas, did you find anything? That's an obscure search to try to find.
No, I looked through CRS reports.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
The
I
only
was
reason
curious.
that he'll be in a prison is because he won't be able to disappear because they'll always know
I'm
where
talking
he
about
is.
just this. We're not talking about classified documents. We're not talking about, the
He'll never sit in
hush
prison.
money that he paid to the stripper out of his own campaign finances.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not guilty or guilty.
I'm just saying whether or not for this particular thing that we're talking about today, whether he's guilty or not, whether they're going to actually find him guilty.
They will not find him guilty.
Okay, we'll see. All right, so Laz, any shout outs over there?
Shout out to Adrian. He'll be here next week. We already talked
Next
to him.
week? All
Yep.
right, we got it. All
I
right.
told him 4:00.
4 o'clock?
He'll be here at 6.
All right.
LOL.
But if he's watching the show, you can't tell him. You can't.
Nah, I'm talking shit. I have the real information.
All right, good deal. All right. Lucas, any shout outs over there?
Yeah, shout out to my coworker Andy, who was hired as my helper.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
Actually,
that's right. How's he doing?
Doing pretty good. He actually helps and just jumps into wherever it needs to get done.
Nice. That's what you would
Nice.
expect from a helper. So,
Somebody that you hired from outside.
well, they hire
Yeah.
from outside.
Yeah, I didn't hire him. I was just told, first I was told, we're looking to getting you help. And 2 days later, I was told, yeah, you got a new guy starting Monday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Fire. Good.
Fire. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Steven, any shout outs over there?
Yeah, man. Shout out everybody watching the show, man. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I want to shout out Elena because for Alicia's birthday, she worked really hard. She put together a really nice birthday. Yeah, we'll clap that up at the park. It was pretty cool. So I got to give her credit. You know, she went to Publix, got all this stuff, and I definitely played my part too. But she put it together. She just told me how to participate. And yeah, shout out to Steve for being here. First show, bro.
Hey, man,
That's
thanks.
what's up. All right, Lucas, you ready?
It's time for. Wait a minute. What the fuck?
WTF News. What you got, Lucas?
So this one is from DailyMail.com.
Okay, fair enough.
And I've looked it up, and it's quite a few different articles have picked it up.
Okay.
In what is it? Queensland, Australia.
Queensland, yep.
A plumber had been called, or a snake catcher had been called to a house to remove a olive brown snake from a toilet.
Okay. Ugh.
Ended
No
up
bueno.
not being a snake.
Not being a what?
Yeah,
What was it?
a turd. So the snake catcher got called to a house at about 10 p.m. frantic.
So they
like, oh my
called
God,
a
this is-
snake catcher. Okay, not
Yeah,
a plumber.
Not a plumber. He went to go open the lid after removing the chair that they had on top to hold the lid down.
Oh
He
my
looked
God.
down, and he's just looking at a turd.
What?
What did he just do? Just flush it?
I mean,
Like-
was it a prank?
No, the guy was apparently. Well, you guys know Australia. They're known for the poisonous, venomous
Yeah.
animals.
Sure.
But yeah, he just backed off. Was like, yeah, that's not a snake. Apparently,
Wow.
the whole encounter cost the homeowner $120.
So my guess
For
is
the
someone
emergency.
took a large dump, didn't flush it.
Didn't even wipe their
maybe
ass.
didn't wipe. Yeah.
like, yo.
And the guy came in and saw it, closed the thing real fast, and like called the snake exterminators. That's actually pretty funny, man.
And actually, just for shits and giggles, I'll send you guys a link.
Please do. We'll definitely take a look. All right. Well, yeah, I'll put it up. So everyone can see it. All right. Well, we're gonna take our first break. We're gonna come back with our aliens among us, UFOs, and all that neat stuff. So we'll see you soon. Boom.
Boom.
She does. She actually likes the show. All right, so we're back, and our aliens among us, UFOs. I'm sure you guys heard about all the conversation that's coming up with the UFOs and the UAEs and all that stuff, right?
They're trying to say that it's like, continue.
No, go ahead.
They were trying to say that they're just trying to like distract us from whatever something is really.
They always say
They always
that.
say that shit, bro.
They said
I'm
the same thing with the implosion of the Titanic, trying to distract us from Hunter Biden. Give me a break, bro. They orchestrated this exploding thing just to distract
we're
us
just
from
gonna kill
Hunter
a whole bunch
Biden.
of people just so we don't find out about one person.
So ridiculous.
Oh, God.
Yeah, seriously. Someone went up there and just like put a little hole in that thing just for that. So, all right, Michael Mitsana, CBS News. 3 former military officials told Congress Wednesday that they believe the government knows much more about UFOs than it is telling the public. In House Oversight Subcommittee held a hearing on UFOs, officially known as Identified Aerial Phenomena, or UAPs, and heard mystifying testimony about unexplained object sightings and government possession of non-human biological matter. Lawmakers on the committee, baffled by some of the testimony, repeatedly noted that UAP sightings are an issue of bipartisan concern and raise national security questions. Separately, Some accuse the federal government of endeavoring to conceal UFO-related information from the public. These UAP sightings, experts say, might be attributable to balloons, drones, optical illusions, or even blinking lights of a commercial airliner. The Pentagon has said they've seen no evidence linking UAPs to alien activity, though they have not ruled out that explanation. So I want to start with firsthand accounts. So this is an actual video. This is actually from News Nation. This is an actual video taken, 5-minute video taken from the testimony, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea.
What are these unidentified objects? Where did they come from? And are we alone? Take a listen. Here are some of the key highlights from that hearing.
Finally, I'd like to thank these 3 brave witnesses here. They took an oath. They took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and dadgummit, they're doing it. And we owe them a debt of gratitude.
So he's talking about the 3 people that had testified in front of Congress.
I have experienced advanced UAP firsthand, and I'm here to voice the concerns of more than 30 commercial aircrew and military veterans who have confided their similar
former
encounters
U.S.
with me.
Navy pilot.
He looks like an alien.
Today, I would like to highlight 3 critical issues that demand our action. As we convene here, UAP are in our airspace, but they are grossly underreported. These sightings are not rare or isolated, they are routine. Military aircrew and commercial pilots, trained observers whose lives depend on accurate identification, are frequently witnessing these phenomena. The stigma attached to UAP is real and powerful and challenges national security. It silences commercial pilots who fear professional repercussions, discourages witnesses, and is only compounded by recent government claims questioning the credibility of eyewitness testimony. Parts of our government are aware of more about UAP than they let on, but excessive classification practices keep crucial information hidden. Since 2021, all UAP videos are classified as secret or above. This level of secrecy not only impedes our understanding, but fuels speculation and mistrust. In 2014, I was an F-18 Foxtrot pilot in the Navy Fighter Attack Squadron 11, the Red Rippers. And I was stationed at NAS Oceana in Virginia Beach. After upgrades were made to our jet's radar systems, we began detecting unknown objects operating in our airspace. At first, we assumed they were radar errors, but soon we began to correlate the radar tracks with multiple onboard sensors, including infrared systems, eventually through visual ID. During a training mission in Warning Area Whiskey 72, 10 miles off the coast of Virginia Beach, 2 F-18 Super Hornets were split by a UAP. The object, described as a dark gray or a black cube inside of a clear sphere, came within 50 feet of the lead aircraft and was estimated to be 5 to 15 feet in diameter. The mission commander terminated the flight immediately and returned to base. Our squadron submitted a safety report, but there was no official acknowledgement of the incident and no further mechanism to report the sightings. Soon, these encounters became so frequent that aircrew would discuss the risk of UAP as part of their regular pre-flight briefs. The majority of witnesses are commercial pilots at major airlines. Often, they are veterans with decades of flying experience. Pilots are reporting UAP at altitudes that appear above them at 40,000 feet, potentially in low Earth orbit or in the gray zone below the Kármán line, making inexplainable maneuvers like right-hand turns and retrograde orbits or J-hooks. If everyone could see the sensor and video data I witnessed, our national conversation would change. I urge us to put aside stigma and address the security and safety issue this topic represents. If UAP are foreign drones, it is an urgent national security problem. If it is something else, it is an issue for science.
I was informed in the course of my official duties.
David Grush, he's the official UFO whistleblower
and reverse engineering program.
He's the one that started all this.
To which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it.
It wouldn't be only national, though.
I made the decision based on the data I collected to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general, and in effect becoming a whistleblower. As you know, I've suffered retaliation for my decision, but I am hopeful that my actions will ultimately lead to a positive outcome of increased transparency.
The controller told us that these objects had been observed for over 2 weeks, coming down
former
from
U.S. Navy
feet,
commander,
rapidly descending to 20,000 feet, hanging out for hours, and then going straight back up. For those who don't realize, above 80,000 feet is space. We arrived at the location at approximately 20,000 feet, and the controller called merge plot, which means that our radar blip was now in the same resolution cell as the contact. As we looked around, we noticed that we saw some whitewater off our right side. It's important to note that the weather on this day was as close to perfect as you could ask for off the coast of San Diego. Clear skies, light winds, calm seas, no white caps from waves. So the whitewater stood out in a large blue ocean. All four of us, because we were in F-18Fs, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down a small, saw a white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings. As we started clockwise towards the object, my Wizzo and I decided to go down and take a closer look with the other aircraft staying in high cover to observe both us and the tic-tac. We proceeded around the circle about 90 degrees from the start of our descent, and the object suddenly shifted its longitudinal axis, aligned it with my aircraft, and began to climb. We continued down another 270 degrees, nose low, where the tic-tac, or we considered 270 degrees to where, and we went nose low to where the tic-tac would have been. Our altitude at this point was about 15,000 feet, and the tic-tac was about 12,000. As we pulled nose onto the object, within about a half mile of it, it rapidly accelerated in front of us and disappeared. Our wingmen, roughly 8,000 feet above us, lost contact also. We immediately turned back to see where the whitewater was at, and it was gone also. So as we started to turn back towards the east, the controller came up and said, "Sir, you're not going to believe this, but that thing is at your cap point, roughly 60 miles away in less than a minute. You can calculate the speed." We returned to Nimitz. We were taking off our gear. We were talking to one of my crews that was getting ready to launch. We mentioned it to them, and they went out and luckily got the video that you see, that 90-second video. What you don't see is the radar tape that was never released, and we don't know where it's at, of the active jamming that the object put on an APG-73 radar.
So, I mean, dude, so basically these are firsthand accounts by Navy pilots that are saying, yeah, like this is stuff that we've seen,
massive
of course,
search at the
stuff that we've seen, you know, the tic-tac thing that just went from right next to them to 60 miles away within a matter of like a couple seconds and all that. What's that?
That's ridiculous. That's extremely fast.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right, Laz. I mean, this would not just be a national thing.
Yeah, it would be like a world thing. Like
that's the thing. Are other governments covering it up? Are other governments, you know, talking about this stuff as well? Is there a cooperation? Like, who knows?
Whoever's up there is either talking to other governments about it, or someone has some type of technology that they're not even talking about.
So here's the thing. Those three people that you heard, they're the ones that testified in front of Congress. So, and those were the things, the main things that they were talking about that they personally witnessed. What's that, Laz?
What? Oh, I'm listening. Oh, like I feel like if there is, they are hiding it. That's what's going on.
Well, of course.
But
are they? What do you? I mean, do we think there's aliens here? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. You think so?
Yes.
Lucas. Lucas.
I'm still here. I had a burp. Sorry.
I'll speak for Lucas.
Myself.
Yes.
Yes or no, Lucas?
I do.
You do? Okay.
I do, because it's a, even though it's astronomical, there has to be something out there, and for what's going on.
Are they here on Earth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Laz?
Yes. If there's somebody that from another,
you think they're here on Earth?
I believe they have to have it. You know why? There's no way that we've been so technologically advanced in the past like 100 years from how slow we've been from before that.
Okay.
I mean, where are they getting the stuff from? That's not possible.
What stuff?
Everything. Like everything that we're creating things like really in 1900s to 2023.
I mean, it's a good point.
Like there's like
no cars to like going to Mars.
Do everything that you couldn't do in like 80s, like now. Sure. Like,
and Steven, do you think they're here?
Definitely, and I think they're in the ocean, bro.
You think they're in the ocean?
They're in the ocean?
100%, dude.
Like somewhere we can't even get there.
Yeah, they can't even, exactly.
It's the perfect place to hide.
Exactly.
Or in the sky, like what they said. But like coming down and just disappearing and doing whatever. Like,
so if they are here, they've been here for a long, long time. Before like human civilization, I would imagine. The only reason that I think I'm 50-50. Here's the thing. They didn't find us like recently because the only way they could find us is they would have to find our radio signals. We discussed this already.
Why do you feel like they use radio signals? They could use anything.
How else would they find us?
How do you don't know what technology they have?
Well, there would have to be something that we as human civilization
push out
emits, for them to find.
Yeah, but that's what we know about. What else is there that they probably could just pick up anything?
Like what though?
Anything. Like the fact that we can, like that Siri can hear my voice. How many times we're having a conversation and the watch thinks I'm talking to
So
it?
they've got a big ear listening to the sounds.
It could be anything. It could be something we don't even know exists.
But here's the thing: light, radio waves, electromagnetic waves, they all travel at the speed of light, which is 186,000 miles a second.
Yeah, but that's what we know.
But I'm just saying the only way they could possibly hear us or see us or find us is to pick up on some sort of energy that we are putting out.
What did the gentleman say in the video? That if something would leave, if a plane would move that fast or an object that was controlled by somebody, you would have what do they call it? The whitewash?
Well, they're talking about the waves in the water is what they're talking about.
If somebody's moving that fast over the water, correct? Or they would see that. So they have something that if it could move that fast, and obviously we would hear it. Like if a plane, remember the time when they were doing some type of exercise and the plane flew over Broward County really fast and shattered windows?
Sure.
We hear that and we know, but what if they have a technology that can move that fast without making any noise?
They might, but they would have to move. The closest star to us is Proxima Centauri, which is roughly 4 light years away.
Okay, but what if it's on a planet that we can't explore? We've only exploring Mars, right?
But my point is, it would take them 4 years to get here, moving at the speed of light.
Okay, but that's what we consider the fastest speed.
But that is
it's not Star Wars.
That is the speed limit for this universe.
The speed limit for this universe?
Yeah, that is the speed limit for the universe, is the speed of light.
That's the fastest.
Can't go faster than that, bro.
You can't
Why
go
not?
faster
How do you know?
Because it's in the theory of relativity.
Yeah, but we created that. So we have the smartest brain. What was the fastest speed 300 years ago?
The speed of the universe's speed of light is the fastest speed you can go in this universe. As far as we know, I'll give you that.
That's what I'm saying. Before we decided that the speed of light was the fastest, right? There was something else that was the fastest.
Fair enough.
So how do you know they don't have whatever the fastest thing is?
If they're here, so Elena, she swears that the aliens are here. She actually seen
Oh God.
Yeah, she's seen a ship, bro. She said off of this coast right here around 2015, 2016. She was on a friend with a beach, after work, whatever, chilling. And she saw these lights far off into the ocean, not that far, in a triangle pattern, appeared out of nowhere. She saw the lights. Then all of a sudden, after several seconds or whatever, it just completely disappeared.
I believe it.
And she said it was massive and it was there and it disappeared. She swears by it. She swears by it.
There's no way that we're the only people, the only being.
Why would somebody
universe.
make that up, man?
Well, I agree. I agree. Right. Go ahead, Lucas.
I was gonna bring up. Are we just talking about intelligent life forms, or with this whole conversation?
Obviously, there would have to be some type of intelligent
bacterium and viruses.
There's definitely bacteria and viruses.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's intelligent life out there somewhere. The question is, what we're talking about is, are they here? All right, let's move forward because there's more of this conversation we can get into, and it's going to get a little bit deeper here. So here are some of the 5. Here are 5 of the witnesses' main claims from the hearing. And once again, this is still Michael Matsanis from CBS News. So government is absolutely in possession of UAPs. David Grush, a former U.S. intelligence officer, he was the second person you guys heard or saw in the video I just put up. He told the panel that he is absolutely certain that the federal government is in possession of UAPs, citing interviews he said he conducted with 40 witnesses over a 4-year period. Former U.S. intelligence officer said he led Defense Department efforts to analyze reported UAP sightings and was informed of a multi-decade Pentagon program that endeavored to collect and reconstruct crashed UAPs. Asked by Representative Jared Moskowitz, a Democrat from Florida, how such program is funded, Grush claimed that the effort is above congressional oversight, bankrolled by a misappropriation of funds. So in other words, Congress has no idea. They're basically taking money from all these other programs to fund this. So number 2, non-human biologics were found at a crash site. Grush, who underscored that he has not personally spotted a UAP, told the panel that he knows of multiple colleagues who are injured by UAPs. He also said he has interviewed individuals who have recovered non-human biologics from crashed UAPs. Grush said he prefers to use the term non-human rather than alien or extraterrestrial. Asked by Representative Eric Burleson, Republican from Missouri, to substantiate the crashed UAP claim, the former intelligence officer said he could not divulge specific details, once again claiming the information was too sensitive to share with the public. So in other words, I'll tell you guys privately, but I'm not going to do it here in front of everybody, in front of Congress. He did, however, describe the nature of what he saw. I have to be very careful here, but what I personally witnessed, myself and my wife, was very disturbing. Pentagon spokesperson told NBC News that Grush's claims are false. Imagine that. So far, government is absolutely has UAPs and absolutely has found non-human biologics in these UAPs. So number 3, officials must establish a safe and transparent reporting process. So some lawmakers and witnesses pushed several government entities to establish clear channels to communicate UAP information with both the public and the private military. Basically, he's like, listen, you got to set up channels for people to be able to report this stuff. So he said the way it's set up, people are not prepared to deal with them or report them. And he also claimed that commercial airline pilots have also spotted UAPs, which definitely makes sense. So number 4, stigma associated with sightings and silencing possible witnesses. Graves told the panel that stigma silences pilots who fear professional repercussions. So in other words, I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to look like an idiot. Yeah, I'm not going to get promoted. I'm going to look crazy, so I'm not even going to open my mouth. And what's crazy is I spoke to Elena. I was like, Elena, do you want to jump on Zoom? You can tell me your story. And she, the one who I just told you, said she saw it off the beach right here. She wouldn't do it for that reason. She's like, I don't have a problem telling you and telling my friends, but I don't want to be on camera saying this stuff. And that's exactly what he's talking about. The stigma associated with reporting this stuff needs to go away so people can feel free to report this stuff without feeling some sort of repercussion, whether it be, attack against your ability to be promoted in the military or as a pilot or thinking you're a crackpot or you're losing your mind.
Even if you did report it, they're going to have somebody that's investigating that you're not even going to know what government it is. It's like a movie.
That's the thing, though. People need to feel free to be able to report this stuff without any repercussions.
No, nobody wants to report it. We don't want to know.
Let's face it. We know Elena. The chance for coming on this show were pretty slim anyway, but when she gave me that reason, it's like, I don't want my face being associated. That's not how she put it, but I don't want people to see me talking about this stuff because people might think I'm crazy.
Do you really want to know?
Who?
You.
I mean, I have that. So I was like, all right, well, tell me your story now. Because she had told me before, but we didn't get into specifics as much as this time. But she told me the story, on my drive home from here. I called her so she could fill me in so I could tell you guys, off the water, lights in a triangle, this and that. The Phoenix Lights, I think is what she called it. But the stigma associated with it. What's that?
I believe her.
Fair enough. I mean, for me, I guess, obviously she's my baby mama. I love her very much. And she believes in the whole UFO thing, believes that there's aliens here, all that. So, of course, I believe that she saw what she saw, but do I believe it was what she thinks it was? It's a tough one for me, especially considering I'm someone who considers myself more of a scientist than anything else. But based on what we're seeing here, it's kind of hard to argue with a lot of what's going on. Number 5, UFO spotted. A former Navy commander said he and 3 fellow military pilots spotted the white tic-tac-shaped object in 2004 hovering below their jets and just above the Pacific line. This is the guy who literally, we just heard him talking about that. But he claimed the UAP vanished only to reappear a few seconds later, 60 miles away. No wings, no propulsion, none of that stuff. So, and he
has
his
own thing. It has some. I'm mad they call it a tic tac.
Well, no, because that's what the shape of it.
Yeah,
it looks like it was in the shape of a tic tac, the shape of a pill.
Yeah, a little pill.
There was no wings, no propulsion, like nothing, just sitting there hovering, doing its own thing.
Like
It's technology. We just don't know what it is.
I agree.
If it is what it is.
If it is what it is. All right, so
He
video.
said it was taking J hooks and just making right turns like nothing.
100%.
Dude, for a plane to do that, I got to go through like a county or something.
Planes can't do that.
A U-turn?
Yeah.
Only thing,
Bro, yeah.
drones can do
U-turn.
something like that, but not fast.
Yeah, not like that.
Not like that.
So video number 2. So they're going to go into a little bit. That was the first one was same congressional hearing. This one is actually from CBS News. Same hearing, but instead of talking about what they saw as far as planes and stuff, they're getting more into the specifics of some of the stuff that they found in the crash sightings and all that.
Nice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to our witnesses who are testifying today. I want to thank each of you for being here to discuss a topic of grave importance to our national security. Earlier this year, a Chinese spy balloon was shot down off the coast of my home state of South Carolina. Since the Roswell incident in 1947, many Americans have wondered about the dangers of unknown objects crisscrossing our skies.
This is Nancy Mace.
UAPs or weather phenomena, advanced technology from American allied or enemy forces, or something more out of this world. So my first question, I have several questions, and if we can just be quick on these first two, I'm going to ask each of you the same question, and then I'll get to each of you individually. The first one, when you reported your experiences with a UAP, did any of you face any repercussions with your superiors, yes or no?
No.
And no is really fast.
No. I've actually never seen anything personally, believe it or not. So.
All right. And then do you believe there's an active disinformation campaign within our government to deny existence of UAPs, yes or no?
I don't have an answer to that.
As previously stated publicly, yes.
I think previously with like Project Blue Book, yes, but currently I don't speak for the United States.
These are the same 3 we heard earlier.
I have a few questions for Mr. Graves. What percentage of UAP sightings, in your belief, go unreported by our pilots?
This is an approximation based off of my personal experience speaking with a number of pilots, but I would estimate we're somewhere near 5% reporting, perhaps.
So like 95% basically don't
that's a lot,
report
Yeah.
seeing UAPs.
That's just my personal estimate.
In the incident off Virginia Beach, do you believe the Navy took the danger to your aircraft seriously after it was reported?
Absolutely.
A few questions for Mr. Favor. As an expert naval aviator, have you ever seen an object that looked and moved like the Tic Tac UAP?
No.
Did the Tic Tac UAP move in such a way that defied the laws of physics?
The way we understand them, yes.
Many dismiss UAP reports as classified weapons testing by our own government, but in your experience as a pilot, does our government typically test advanced weapon systems right next to multi-million-dollar jets without informing our pilots?
I believe
we have test ranges for that.
It took over 15 years for your encounter with the Tic Tac to be declassified. Do you feel there was a good reason to prevent lawmakers from having access to this footage?
No, I just think it was ignored when it happened, and it just sat somewhere in a file. Never got reported.
In a drawer. It happens a lot up here. Shocker. Mr.
She's a
Grush,
hottie, bro.
A couple of questions for you too, sir.
Nancy
this morning.
Mace.
Must be nice.
What percentage of UAPs
Must
do you
be
feel
nice
are
to be able to
adequately
see.
investigated by the U.S. government? Of the 5% that are reported.
I can only speak for my personal leadership over at NGA. I tried to look at every report that came through that I could triage. So,
do you believe that officials at the highest levels of our national security apparatus have unlawfully withheld information from Congress and subverted our oversight authority?
there are certain elected leaders that had more information that I'm not sure what they've shared with certain Gang of Eight members or et cetera, but certainly I would not be surprised.
Okay. You've stated that the government is in possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Whoa.
Didn't say no.
Okay, and I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super. Thank you. And I yield back.
We wouldn't even know what the being would be. You know, like, you've watched a lot of movies and shows, so we're thinking like the alien is going to be like
carbon-based life forms.
What?
Carbon-based life forms, like here.
Yeah, but it's not going to be something with like 2 legs, 2 arms, a face, like a big head with big eyes. We don't know what it would be. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we don't even know if it'll have DNA.
Yeah, you don't even, it might not. Like,
yeah.
And then it's like, you probably could get their object or UFA, what do you call it?
UAP.
UAP. You can't, you probably wouldn't even be able to fly it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they could get here and like, oh yeah, I saw these planes flying around. The humans are flying it.
Well, they said they got crashed ones.
Yeah, they crashed one. They have crashed ones, but they probably have no idea how to even move it.
Well, they're reverse engineering them. That's part of like what's going on. That's why they're saying, well, that's kind of what you were saying. Like, you know, how do we get from where we got in the last 100 years? Obviously, reverse engineering some shit.
2000, you like we've only been able to do stuff for the past.
No cars to landing on Mars.
Yeah, exactly.
In like
that's crazy though. Is that not weird? Like,
I mean, it's pretty impressive.
There's definitely I don't need to know the secrets as long as like everything keeps going.
The question is, do you think these people? I mean, do you think these people were full of shit, or do you think they're telling the truth?
Oh, the people that are saying
the people that we just listened to in both of these videos.
I think they're definitely telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people that don't say anything, do you feel like they're cowards?
I think they're looking out for their own best interest. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely report it.
So Mark von Rennenkampf from The Hill. It is unlikely that Grush is the main guy. He's the one that said, I can provide the list. He's the one that said, we have non-human biologics. So
he's dead. He's dead in the next couple of
years. They've already kind of gone after him a little bit. It's unlikely that Grush, speaking to Congress under oath, would perjure himself so brazenly over such specific falsifiable facts, particularly with his high-profile attorney sitting right behind him. To that end, it is safe to assume that more than 36 individuals did indeed tell Grush of a decades-long UFO retrieval and reverse engineering program that those with first-hand knowledge provided, corroborating information to the intelligence community inspector general. So in other words, they're like, it's really, really unlikely that he's lying under oath with his lawyer, high-profile lawyer right behind him. And the Office of Inspector General is an independent organization within the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, and basically they're charged with protecting the integrity of agency programs and operations. So lying to these people is a federal offense. It is perjury. One theory for Grush's allegations is that the individuals he interviewed became convinced that the decades-old myth and rumors of ultra-secret UFO retrieval and reverse engineering programs are true. However, given the significant penalties for making false statements to an inspector general, it is extremely unlikely that multiple high-level, highly cleared officials would falsely claim to have first-hand knowledge of myths and rumors. Because there are people that Grush spoke to that corroborated what he said. They already told the officials that what Grush is saying is true. So they said it's true. Grush is reporting that it's true. So it's coming from both ends. It's not like Grush is just taking what they said and providing his own spin on it. No, they've already said, yeah, what Grush is saying is true. Rubio and Representative Mike Gallagher, a Republican from Wisconsin, a member of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, have stated that multiple individuals with firsthand knowledge of Grush's allegations have spoken to Congress. Rubio put it succinctly. Either what Grush is saying is partially true or entirely true, or we have some really smart, educated people with high clearances and very important positions in our government who are crazy and are leading us on a goose chase, unquote. Most of the people, Rubio continued, quote, have held very high clearances with high positions within our government. So you ask yourself, what incentive would many people have with that kind of qualification have to come forward and make something up? So why would they do it? Why would they make all this up? So, you know, it's President Ford and Carter also claimed that they found some UFOs. So, I mean, these UFOs are real. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Or UAPs, whether or not they're, UFO, unidentified flying object. The question is, are they from aliens or are they some crazy technology that humans have figured out?
That they don't want to share with?
Yes.
They don't want to share with us? Are they ours or are they theirs? They're real.
They're real, but are they human? We can all agree the Americans, technology-wise, especially in aviation, we got that shit on lock.
Yeah. I can 30% say
30%.
No,
Jesus.
listen.
The military got.
I feel like
30%.
70% is from out of the space. That's how I feel.
Okay.
And 30% is that they probably have something they just don't want to share with the rest of the world.
But the thing is, the rest of the world has to be seeing this shit too.
Yeah, but
like you already said that. Like that's what's crazy. Like, why isn't the rest of the world? Why are we not hearing this from other governments?
Yeah, definitely not other governments. But I've seen videos of people putting up like seeing crazy lights in the skies and
for sure,
crazy objects,
which is exactly what Elena saw.
Yeah, and that's all over the world. So
you feel like it's technology or it's outside?
Based on that TikTok.
That's outside. That's outside.
That's outside shit.
I know the military for sure has things that we haven't seen, like us, like the public or whatever. But that TikTok, that's definitely different.
100%.
That's
it's
defying the laws of gravity and physics.
So you're saying like we have nothing like that? Do you feel like how much of a chance is it that's just our technology that they just haven't shared with even the highest form of highest person in military or with a clearance?
60 miles in 3 seconds.
That's
freaking fast.
60 miles in 3 seconds is like how fast is a plane? How fast?
20
is
miles a second. Okay.
What? Nothing goes that fast, right? Like
no,
bro.
No.
How fast is a bullet? How fast does a bullet go? Like
so what's 20 miles times 60?
Yeah, a bullet's not gonna go 20 miles, but like.
So that's 72,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's impossible. I mean, it's like here to like Boca in 33 seconds.
Yeah, bro, it's fucking around the earth.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, bro, yeah.
What if they have that technology, though? What if, like, they just came from another universe and it took them, like, a day?
They probably can have that technology, but we don't. I mean, we might. But are they in space or are they? I think underwater makes the most sense.
Yeah.
That's what Steve was saying. Yeah. Why not?
Or like some land that we can't touch, like that land out like in Russia or like, you know what I mean? Like that unlivable land that nobody like.
Underwater definitely makes the most sense.
Like way wherever we couldn't explore. Because like a lot of the ocean's unexplorable.
Yeah.
Exactly. So why wouldn't they be there?
And here's the thing, like nowadays with satellites and all the space junk and all that, who knows? So Norman Merchant and Tara Kopp from ABC News, top Pentagon official has attacked the widely watched congressional hearing on UFOs, calling the claims insulting to employees who are investigating sightings and accusing a key witness of not cooperating with official U.S. government investigation. Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick's letter, published on his personal LinkedIn page and circulated Friday across social media, criticizes much of the testimony from retired Air Force intelligence officer that energized believers in extraterrestrial life and produced headlines around the world. A career intelligence officer, Kirkpatrick was named a year ago to lead the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO, which was intended to centralize investigations into UAPs. So the Pentagon decided we're going to make a department just to investigate the UAPs. In a separate statement, Pentagon spokeswoman Sue Go denied other allegations made by Grush before House Oversight Committee. Pentagon, quote, has no information that any individual has been harmed or killed as a result of providing information about UFO objects, nor has the Pentagon discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. So, of course, the Pentagon's like, nobody's been hurt. Nobody's been killed. We didn't find any biologics. We haven't found any crash UFOs. All this shit is bullshit. But, of course, the Pentagon's going to say that. No surprise there.
Womp, womp, womp.
Womp, womp, womp. Exactly. So what's cool about this is Alex Seitz from Wald from NBC News. Americans for Safe Aerospace, which is safeairspace.org, is officially launched as the first pilot-led advocacy organization dedicated to UAPs. Co-founder and run by former Navy fighter pilot Ryan Graves, the one main guy in all this, the group aims to better support aviators who witness unexplainable events. The group wants to push for policy changes like better reporting mechanisms. Safeairspace.org. If any of you see anything and you want to report it, go there. They have all the reporting mechanisms. They say about 2 to 5% of sightings are, unexplainable. And they want to make sure that these are reported. Most of them you can explain away by, balloons or, drones, blah, blah, blah. But these 2 to 5%, they don't really know. So they just want a way for people to go ahead and report that stuff. So there you have it, folks.
Report it.
Yeah, if you see something, say something.
Yeah, right. And disappear. Get the fuck out of here.
But that's why they created this this website.
Mm-hmm. So you don't disappear.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
On your computer, they'll find you.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, any last minute thoughts before we move on?
Crickets, crickets, crickets.
All right, here we go.
Maybe that's not even real. Maybe that's an alien.
Laz, you got some beef, bro?
Definitely that guy with the big forehead is an alien.
No, man.
Yeah,
He's trying
bro,
to
he definitely
find all
looks
his
like an
other
alien,
alien
bro.
friends.
Guys are hating. Those of you who want to see the forehead, watch the show on YouTube. All right, Laz, you got some beef, bro.
Yo, the new appliances, bro, they're trash. They're all trash.
Wow.
Like, literally, like, I have a new fridge, done. I have a washer, done. And then, like, that, they're not bad quality, bro. I have a Samsung and an LG
LG?
fridge.
Wait,
Okay.
you got a washer,
what?
no dryer?
No, I have a washer. No, I had a washer. It died. Like, literally, like, 3 years. Every other thing I've had for, like, before, like, a long time has lasted forever. And so it's like, oh, you know what? We need a new one just because you want a new one. Not because, like, it stopped working or something like that.
Sure.
So my LG fridge, it's just, first the freezer stopped working. And then we tried to order a part. Everything was back ordered, obviously. So we just ended up buying like one of those big freezers.
Sure, deep freezer.
Yeah, while waiting for the part. The part still never came. And then like a couple months later, the fridge just died. It just stopped working.
Wow.
And it's literally like
3 years?
I think 4 years.
So if you would have bought the extended warranty just long enough to get through the extended warranty.
Like the first time the fridge like motor stopped working, they replaced everything for free. It was after the warranty. And they're like, but nobody expects to buy a fridge that dies in a year, bro. Like
No, of course not.
that doesn't even exist. I didn't even think that was a problem. Yo, the whole thing is just dead.
Like, is this one of those new ones, like with the tablet on it?
No, this doesn't even have a tablet. It's just like it wasn't like super like fancy. It was nicer than the old one, but not like.
Okay. But it's LG. Life's supposed to be good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It had the little. You could scan your phone to diagnose it.
Oh, so it was fancy. Come on.
But it wasn't fancy. It wasn't like you had the screen where you could see what's in the fridge.
With the Bluetooth.
Yeah. It wasn't anything like that. Like, so I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, we didn't even need a new fridge. We just got it because we just wanted a nicer look.
And you can scan the fridge with your phone? What do you mean?
Like if you open the door, there's like a little Wi-Fi signal thing, and you can like get the app and see if it's cooling properly, blah 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 whatever.
Jeez.
It just died.
Fancy.
You know how you could tell if it's cooling properly?
Open the fridge.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
But when it stops working, then you do and then it'll say nothing's wrong from what we can see. Just open it up. Fuck you. And then like call LG for service. And literally they don't even have the parts to fix anything anyway. So it's like, it's worthless.
Sure.
Like literally. And then, I mean, I'm just going to buy a new fridge anyways, but it's fucking annoying.
Anybody else with beef? Asshole? Suck it?
I have beef, and Seth, you're an asshole.
Okay,
I mean,
that's fair.
I mean, I guess like it's been happening a lot recently. Like these people like letting the bright line train hit them.
I posted a video the other day about that shit.
People let in a car?
Dude, I'm talking about they're right over the tracks, no
so
problem.
So those of you who don't know, Brightline, that's the public transportation train down here in Miami. So they're letting it hit them?
Dude, letting it hit. I've seen cars sideways on the tracks where it's like you think you're the train.
Oh, he's like in between.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you see?
And the lights were going off, and he just drove past it. Like it was ridiculous.
Stuck,
and his car doesn't have reverse, I guess.
What a dumbass!
Like, why would you even go forward?
Yes.
Like, it made no sense.
Yeah, that's stupid. So, all right, well, that being the case,
Laz's Corner of Positivity.
We're gonna wrap it up with Laz's Corner of Positivity here.
This one is so Broward County finally are giving the teachers a raise. Pay
That's something that DeSantis pushed through, by the way.
Yeah, so
as long as they don't talk about gays.
Nah, they've been going through some like a whole bunch of weird stuff. So they're approved to get a raise of additional $10,000.
Okay,
which is kind of high, I feel, and not high. Like it's a good raise. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's something to talk about. And then by 2025, they're gonna get $100,000 a year of total compensation. So that's including it's included $18,000 in pay and $20,000 in benefits.
Okay.
The school board is working on a permanent salary increase. Because they were complaining, mortgage has gone up, insurance has gone up, everything has gone up,
everything's
and
gone
teachers don't make any like.
A lot of teachers, they buy their own supplies for their kids.
Yeah. What if you don't even as much things as we have to give? Like what I as a parent, like our kids are getting older, so we're all the parents that from the school that Layla was going to, we kind of like separated, but we'd always do something for them for like Christmas, Teachers Appreciation Day, and like one at a time, like we'd give them like a cash bonus,
sure,
or like something like that instead of just buying like useless gifts. But the teachers actually do a lot, bro, like big time.
Hell yeah.
Because they're not getting anything. And I told you about like I had an ex who had her mom was a teacher, and she would literally bring her own stuff to the school, but it was like an inner city school.
Sure.
So they got nothing, like no funding, which is like crazy.
I know with Alicia, I had to spend, Lane and I, bro, I mean, putting the uniforms aside and all that, but like $120, $130 on like stuff like Play-Doh and markers and tissues.
And that's like, that was private. It's not even public.
Yeah.
So like public schools, like before school starts, you're talking about you're buying, they're asking for reams of paper, tissue.
Like, we had to do all that tissue, reams of paper, glue stick, notebooks,
binders, all that.
Hand sanitizer.
The Clorox wipes. Like,
all that shit, bro. Good Lord.
I don't remember.
Whatever. I don't remember having my dad having to get that shit.
Go to school, book bag, that's it.
Yeah,
like crayons, pencils, shit like that.
Book bag, here's your lunch money.
Worry about your own supplies.
Exactly.
Not anymore. Jeez.
We're paying for it anyways. Like that's what doesn't make any sense. We're already paying. Like,
that's true.
How much more do we need to pay?
Well, we'll clap it up, man. We're glad the teachers are getting the raise,
Now they could buy more supplies.
Yeah. Yeah, for the kids. That's funny. All right. Well, any last minute thoughts before we wrap this up? No? All right. Well, this is.
Thanks for the answers.
What?
Thanks for the chance to answer that question.
Well, I mean, everyone shook their head, bro.
Yeah.
Good Lord, bro. Only you
Why
can.
are you in your feelings?
Yeah. Good Lord.
Now we know why.
Dude, all I could see is Seth, so I can't really see what's going on in the video.
Now he's being defensive. Lucas.
Well, you didn't listen to him. You know what, Lucas, you're right. Seth is wrong.
Some kind of way. All right, Seth and Mike 1. We got Laz and Mike 2.
Yo.
We got, Herd and Grumpy Lucas, couldn't stop playing with his beard in Mike 3. That's right.
What,
there it
jealous?
goes.
You jealous?
A little bit.
Jealous?
Not in this heat, though. And we got Steve and Mike 4 Appreciate you sitting in, bro. Did you have a good time?
Man. Great time, man.
Awesome.
This was awesome. Great experience.
We'll put you in the rotation, get you, in every couple months or so if you want.
A joint now, damn.
Yeah, right? That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Boom.
Boom.